Madam President, we cannot adjourn this meeting because according to our rules of order, according to our rules and regulations, there were several Rule 41s that were posted that have to be addressed at this meeting.
So the vote that would have renamed Lakeshore Drive potentially was tabled. It's pushed to tomorrow after aldermen refused to approve the mayor's selection for corporate counsel. This fight revolves around that botched Chicago police raid of Anjanette Young's home. You know this story. She was left standing naked, handcuffed when police got the wrong address.
Yeah, last week the mayor's pick for city council, who was looking to get approved yesterday, she filed a motion to dismiss Young's lawsuit against the city. And so after that, the meeting spirals right into chaos. And here to give us a little bit more perspective about what took place is Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. Considering everything you went through yesterday, you know, after the meeting ended, you tweeted out, quote, "Mayor Lightfoot is our proceeding officer. It is clear she needs to take a training on Robert's rules and how to properly chair a meeting. She consistently abuses her chair position to ignore or block motions that are in order." Wow. Well, give us your take on what happened and why you feel the mayor needs to have a little more training on these city council Robert's rules.
Well, you know, Robert's rules and our rules of order and procedure that we've adopted as a city council are there to facilitate a democratic conversation. The chair of a meeting is not supposed to stifle debate. They're supposed to protect the ability of everyone in that body to be heard. And I think one of the things that my colleague Jeanette Taylor said yesterday is that the mayor thinks that she's our boss and not our colleague. And I think that's something that many aldermen have perceived over the 2 years that we've now had to work with her. This mayor thinks that she is in many ways the person that just dictates what's supposed to happen at the city council. But the city council, we were elected to legislate. We were elected to represent our communities. And so that means that we're going to have disagreements, but we can do so democratically. We can do so professionally. Unfortunately, the mayor has not helped foster democratic debate on the council floor. She ignores motions. Yesterday, you know, someone appealed the decision of the chair, which means that there then has to be a vote as to whether or not the body agrees with, in this case, the mayor, or agrees with the individual that's appealing their decision. And the mayor just totally ignored that. So these are flagrant violations of Robert's Rules of Order and our Rules of Order and Procedure. And we as a city run a real risk that there's going to come a time when there's a really important issue that we're voting on. The mayor violates a rule that we're supposed to follow. And as a result of that, it gets challenged in court. So this just has serious implications for the city of Chicago and our ability to govern and legislate.
All right, real quick, in fairness, the mayor did release a statement. I want to read part of it. She said, this is a quote, "Today, a small group of aldermen brazenly created a spectacle." She went on to blame the aldermen for preventing votes on actions that would provide relief to hotel workers. It just seems, at least from my vantage point in the cheap seats, there is a lot of division even with council. We spoke with Alderman Cardenas, your colleague, earlier this morning. He seemed to back the mayor. He seemed very frustrated. What's your take?
Well, you know, Alderman Cardenas is a committee chair. He was given that committee position and the additional funding that it provides him by the mayor. He was also appointed as her deputy floor leader. So he's got to do his job and carry water for her. But the reality is that it was the mayor's allies who moved to adjourn the meeting. Those of us like myself, we voted to continue the meeting because we wanted to finish the business that was before us. But the mayor recessed the meeting. When she didn't get her way on the appointment of her corporation counsel, she recessed the meeting during a vote, which is not something that's supposed to happen. When you're taking a vote, you're supposed to allow the vote to take place and then count the votes at the end of it. But while we were voting, she recessed the meeting to go yell at one of our colleagues. That is totally unheard of in the city of Chicago. I'm assuming she just couldn't control herself. I think we've seen some emails recently that came out where the mayor showed her temper towards her staff. And I think this is another example of that, where the mayor said, I need to go yell at her. I'm going to go do that. The mayor was angry that she didn't get her way. That's unprofessional. That's unbecoming of the mayor of the city of Chicago. Ultimately, it was the mayor who helped create that spectacle because she decided to, you know, stop the meeting so she could go down to the council floor and yell at someone. Extremely unusual. And ultimately, it was her allies, the committee chairs that she appointed, who voted to stop the meeting because the mayor didn't get her way. And so she wanted us to come back on Friday so that in hopes that, you know, she would have a better outcome.
Well, this seems, kind of crazy when you're seeing it from our perspective and watching it, and then when you hear all of this. I want to ask you: do you think that that this council can move forward and work with this mayor? Or are we going to see more of this kind of interaction, interruption of meeting, cancellation of council meetings? And what happens if that happens? Do you have recourse as aldermen?
Well, we as aldermen, a number of us are discussing different avenues. I think it's clear that we need our own parliamentarian, someone who is independent, who isn't going to flagrantly violate the rules to advance any individual alderman or elected officials' agenda. We need someone who's going to make sure that our council is actually following the rules of order and procedure. And additionally, I think that we as aldermen, I think many of us have made it clear that we are willing to work with this mayor. But the basis of that cooperation needs to be respect. Many of us send letters to the mayor. Many of us conduct outreach to the mayor to say, we want to work with you on the important issues impacting our city. And in response, what we get is flagrant disrespect. And I think it's become pretty clear that, this mayor is not necessarily the best at working with others to get things done.
Your thoughts on Anjanette Young and the promises to make things right for her in front of the TV cameras by the mayor, and then changing that plan, and Anjanette Young feels that she's been lied to.
Yeah, I believe that my colleague, Alderwoman Taylor and Alderman Lopez, they took action yesterday to demand justice for Anjanette Young by delaying the vote on our corporation council. I think that was the right thing to do, because this mayor and our city has not done right by Miss Anjanette Young. The ordinance that was introduced with the support of Miss Anjanette Young to ensure that these types of no-knock raids are regulated and no longer occurring. The mayor has been stalling that and pushing back against that. The lawsuit now that she's filed, the mayor's administration is now fighting it. Just as the mayor's administration has been fighting Miss Anjanette Young every step of the way as she has sought to seek justice. We need action, not words. And I think in this case, the mayor's words have not matched her actions.
I wish we had more time, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa. I really wanted to get into the Lakeshore Drive name change. There's a lot of stakeholders there and a lot of argument on either side over whether the change is actually good for Chicago. But unfortunately, we don't have the time to get into that. But I do want to thank you for your candor this morning, and thanks for joining us.